You've been angry with me, Cal, and I can't figure why, so whatever's going on, can we air it out?
I got work to do. Jim, Scout, Deal. Come on in, wash up.
I was in San Francisco seeing my daughter in a play up there, and I woke up in the hotel room and I looked at my phone. I had an email from Rudin, Scott Rudin, the producer, saying basically just, do you want to play Atticus? That was it.
That's a good story.
That's how that happened.
I had to audition.
Did you?
I wish I got an email. That would be so much easier. But no, I auditioned twice. Oh, thank you.
I had to audition as well. Sent through a self-tape. I was doing a play at the time in Sydney, and I sent through a self-tape, which I'd never done before. I didn't know you could send through self-tapes for theater.
Welcome to the business.
I know, it's crazy.
Yep.
And so when I sent it through, I had met with Greta Gerwig later, and I was told by her that that Scott Rudin sent an email to her seeing if I was a nice person to work with.
And you are.
And I am, and I'm here.
Checking up on you, huh?
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that's really wonderful about this group is that everybody's really cool. I mean, everybody's good attitude. There's no, rotten apple in a bunch, which makes it so nice.
Yeah, I did. I came to see it and it was great. And our show's very different. And it was a thrill to watch the old cast do it and know that we were going to be able to get to tell that story soon. It's been most fun watching how it's different, I think.
I decided to wait till the very last minute to see it. I wasn't going to see it at all. It was a choice that I had made. But then I felt very comfortable in my choices and where I was going with the characters. So the very last week they were closing, I snuck in.
I did not see it. I just didn't want to know what Jeff was doing. I just didn't want to have it in my head. Just wanted to approach it from a wide open, fresh point of view.
I did see it, and I found it particularly helpful coming to rehearsals and knowing the blocking and what was going to happen. So as we were going through the motions of rehearsals, I was able to, I guess make connections, and I felt like I was thrown into the deep end already, because I'd only done one main stage play before that. So having as much armor, I guess, was important for me. So yeah, I watched it about as soon as I arrived.
Hey, Boo.
Miss Jean Louise, Mr. Arthur Radley.
Well, one of the main differences is Aaron has given Calpurnia a voice and a point of view, which he doesn't really have either in the book or the film. And he's also just goosed it up to the present time. And there's various things that happen or that are talked about that make it very relevant to today, I should say. Wouldn't you?
I would agree.
Yes.
Yeah. I think I think that this version of the story just kind of sifts through the book and brings some of the more relevant and timely details of the book to the forefront.
I think To Kill a Mockingbird, the book, raises many topics of conversation about race, about class. I think that the play does the same for us. And I think the fact that you can, fortunately or unfortunately, take, 1936 Alabama, Jim Crow, bring that story to the present, to this audience. I don't think it would have been as successful if it weren't for Aaron's interpretation, if this play were done 10 years ago. I think people would have been offended by it and not really wanted to see it. It's, the white man saving the, ideally trying to save the black guy, the poor black guy. And I think what Aaron did, I love your word sift, is he sifted through that material to see what specific conversations he really wanted us to have. And then by giving Calpurnia a voice, by having Jim challenge Atticus more about his own feelings about the world, a real conflict occurs. And I think that's what's really the beauty of what Aaron did with this text. It's really extraordinary.
In our courts, all men are created equal.
Well, it's one of my favorite films, and that's so in my head when I got that email from Rudin, I was going, okay, well, how do you get Gregory Peck out of your head? When you read the play and we started working on the play, you realize that this man, that this Atticus Finch, this version, is not intended to be, nor is he as noble a character as Peck is in the film. And I also was told that during the course of the film and the writing of the script for the film, Peck kept insisting that they make him even more noble than he was in the original draft, that he's like this kind of perfect guy, you know. And Atticus that Aaron wrote, he's not perfect. He has flaws. He has a certain belief system that is being challenged incredibly during the course of the play. And so, you know, and during rehearsal, and you hopefully you come up with a character that works and that represents it, and that's not Gregory Peck.
The response has been overwhelmingly positive. Every time that I go out the stage door and see the folks there, everyone's just very excited and energized about the show.
People come from Chicago, they come from Minneapolis. I mean, they're coming from around the country just to come see the Broadway production of this, which I think says a lot about the reputation of the text and the reputation of the company, but that this is such a beloved book, and people really want to see how Aaron Sorkin tweaked it and interpreted it. And people are legitimately moved. I sort of joke with my sister that I really have never been in a play where there's a standing ovation every night. I don't care how much we might suck that night. They're still standing up, you know, really, really, really. No, we never suck. But they're just standing up. And so I think you know, when people come backstage, friends and family, they're moved by it. It sounds like a commercial, I know, but they really are. They legitimately are.
Well, Scott Rudin said that he was hoping that the audience would be more diverse, and it really isn't. And so he said, well, we'll just make it that way and invite, you know, 18,000 kids. I don't know if they mostly will be of color or not. I don't know, but
Your public school kids.
it's going to be it'll be a riot. I mean, it'll be more of an event than a play, I think, but it's going to be memorable, I'm sure.
And historic. There's never been a play done in Madison Square Gardens in the history of the Garden. It's usually hockey. So here's a play.
It's really going to be something else,
Yeah.
man. Got my methods, but I'd rather not talk about it.
I'm always hungry, so I'm always eating late at night, which is a terrible thing.
Yeah.
But I'm genuinely hungry.
Yeah,
It's
me
1 o'clock
too.
at night.
Yeah, the 12 o'clock is-
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting doing the play too because it's so emotional at times, but by the end of it, there's this kind of this positive feeling, you know. And when the thing goes up and everybody's like clapping and standing on their feet, you can't help but like be happy, even though you've gone through this whole kind of dark kind of trip about what has happened, you know.
I think there's also a celebration of the communal spirit of theater, that we're all in it together in this box, that the audience brings who they are to the play. We bring who we are as individuals. I don't think any actor can be compared to another actor because of their individuality. I don't think it's possible for Ed to be the Gregory Peck character that he portrayed. I don't think Ed would want to be that character either. So it's wonderful that we are all bringing our own interpretation, our own selves, and there's a mutual appreciation for that exchange that occurs during those 3 hours. I feel it's a celebration of the performances, it's a celebration of the play, and it's a celebration of the journey that we survived, and that we are here in 2020, and that we can't keep going on like this. So I also hope that there are many discussions going on in the audience amongst themselves about their own lives, what they have seen. So I think it's just an appreciation.